Hello, and long time no gist. I have missed you, and definitely I have missed talking with the mic or to the mic. But life must be lived, and in living life, or with living life, some part of it might take a back burner, while others take priority. In fact, they carry a placard and write, "I am priority." What I didn't think though was that this conversation space will be one of those that'll be taking the back burner. But oh my, that's what has happened. The last 8 weeks have been a real test of my New Year resolve. Do not take anything personally. If you missed that, check out the quiet interlude of introspection, season 2, episode 13. You know what to say about being careful about what you pray for? Well, almost every significant thing that has happened in my life this year has reminded me daily of this mantra: do not take anything personally. It has been a season of lessons, strings of lessons, if you will, that has helped me revamp myself and also my relationships. Some were painful, some were interesting, some were just downright empowering. If you're new to the Mindfully with Tamisha podcast crew, welcome. We welcome you. We welcome you. One of the messages we are heavy on here is connection and relationships, because we believe that it is an integral part of keeping a balanced mental wholeness and well-being. Now, let's get back to me. If you are a recovering performer like me, you know, it is truly hard to take a break. And the reason you're not taking a break is not because of people's standards or what people think of your standards or the perceptions of you. It is really about your standards, the ones that you've set for yourself, and the perceptions that you have of yourself. Why? Because these are the things, the feelings, the standards, the perceptions that you feed on the good and high days, the bad and low days, and everything in between days. You tried, okay, while you're trying not to perform, you try to find what play means to you, but then you cannot find it. And because you cannot find it, you then begin to identify yourself by whatever thing you believe that you are good at performing at. There's nothing wrong with that. We are growing. Now, let's talk about feedback. Nobody's feedback, no matter how good, is going to cancel out your personal evaluation. And the negative feedback, they're so good because they help you to even want to outperform those personal parameters you set for yourself. The positive feedback are good also, but what they tell you is that there's so much more work to be done. You have grown enough to not identify with outside validations. Yes, you appreciate them, or you appreciate it. But what you try to do is not to over-identify with the persons or people giving the validation and the criticisms. And yes, you've mastered it. You've built a system that seems to work for and with you across all your life spheres: personal, family, work, and social, everything, even your finances. Then boom, the unexpected happens. And this requires you to shut down. But you cannot. Why? Your well-oiled system has to continue to work. So what do? You tap into your performance arsenal, of course, and soldier on till you find yourself again. The main challenge for me during this non-performance shutdown season was to balance my need to meet my own standards and to do that as mindfully and with much presence of mind as possible so that I will not lose myself. So let me give you a background to that. When I started this podcasting thing again, I had set a goal for myself to hit 100 episodes by the end of the first year of launch. But guess what? Life happened, then happened, and then happened again. I will tell you the story about the life that happened. Don't worry. Yeah, it's a safe space, isn't it? But that's not today. I also, in my planning, didn't put certain things into consideration, logistics and all the thing that comes with production. I come from a production background. But the things that I did put into consideration, they fell flat. So I was torn between keeping up my appearance or taking a step back and rewriting the whole goddamn year. So what did I do? I chose to serve myself. I chose to serve me and be true to the message of not just the book, Living Mindful of the Journey to Being, but mindfully with Tomishi, the podcast. And I got some help, from some past episodes. One of those episodes is charting a path of intentional living amidst life's ebbs and flows. This was with Oderinu, and you'll find that in season 3, episode 5, where he said he had to shut down everything at some point during his journey to being, if you would pardon the pun. And when I asked him then what advice he would like to give to anyone who was feeling lost, and he said he would advise for the person to take a step back, shut everything down to restart. That was strength number 1. Strength number 2 came from another past episode, and you'll find again in season 3, episode 9 with Nkechi Ajayi. This was titled Discord to Harmony, Life Lessons in Resilience and Renewal. And that was absolutely what I needed to tap into my latent resilience, the ones that was dying, and to find play and allow myself not to perform. The other, which I think will continually tug at my heart, was found in season 2, episode 4 with Uche Gunabo, and it was on belonging. The question asked that was to belong or to fit in. Don't worry, I'll share the direct links to all of this in the show description. But this is where my strengths came from during this 8 weeks. Now, I do not know about you, but for me to truly understand any philosophy, any concept, anything that is trending, I try to find metaphors, visual or semantic or anything that would help me see this philosophy or this concept. This helps me not only to personalize the concept, but also to contextualize it to myself. And that will help me in dealing with the people within my sphere of influence, or the things between my sphere of influence. I had been looking for an indigenous expression, call it adage, call it proverb, call it idiom, that would help me hone in on my year's personal mantra. Do not take anything personally, from the second agreement from the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. There are several, I'm sure, especially those who understand Yoruba. And I'm sure if you're not even Yoruba, you would find different idioms and adages from your dialects that will serve do not take anything personally. But the one that kept coming back to me and at me was, and it still is, Ọjà Òyìngbò, ò mọ̀ bóyá ẹnìkan wá. The Oyingbo market doesn't know if a person was absent or present. Any market, actually, even a supermarket. Okay, constantly singing this in the expression of Paul Play's Playground Party. Do you remember that song? Right? Party. Okay, I can't play for copyright infringement. Okay, so But constantly singing this and that expression helped me through the season that was both emotional and absolutely empowering. So, I officially welcome you to season 4 of Mindfully with Timishe, the podcast. More conversations coming your way for sure. What I am most excited about is the new way to connect with you on our way to building a community. A way to hear your thoughts about each episode or the one that's gone past new and old. Now, on all episodes, in the show description, you can send me a text message. And you can also support the show via the support the show link. My greatest joy will be that you like, you share, you follow the show wherever it is you're listening from. Yet, there is another one that's greater than that would give me great joy. And that is, as you navigate the transitions life is sure to throw your way, you stay connected to yourself through the higher power that created you for loving and living. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Love your country. Above all of this, love God. He is the essence of your being. I am Uluwatumshe Oladakbo Kuku. Till next week, stay curious and send me a text message.